Hello, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi here, as always, to meet, pray, and love. Still on vacation, and that has gotten me thinking about happiness and joy. And yesterday, I spoke about the simple path to happiness, the way the carnivore diet just simplifies so much of life and gives us a taste of the joy that people strive for throughout life and never find. And we found a tool to help us get there. But it's incomplete. Just the proper nourishment doesn't bring us real, deep, lasting happiness. It's critical to it, but it's not the full picture. I wrote a whole book on happiness back in 2017. Did pretty well. It's called The Happiness Prayer. I wish I had known about the carnivore diet back then, because maybe I would have called it the Carnivore Path to Happiness, because I think the carnivore diet complements many of the practices and techniques and ideas I laid out in that book. And I want to share a few of them with you because I think at this time, while on vacation at least, I have had the chance to really step back and reflect and look at life more closely. And it, again, deepens my appreciation for the carnivore way of eating and the very simple practices we can do to enrich our life, because that's what we're here for. And if you're enjoying this, hit and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm very grateful. First, relationships. Without relationships, life is essentially meaningless. That doesn't mean we have to have a zillion best friends and be extroverted and know lots and lots of people. It means that we have a few deep, enduring connections. And human beings are built with a desire to connect. And on vacation, at least for me, it's not about all kinds of different activities. It's about long, lingering conversations with people. And those conversations are about real things, not just about sports or movies, but about the purpose of life and our dreams and our goals and our disappointments. Those kinds of deep conversations. And so we have to seek those out, especially today when we're so cut off from each other because of technology. We need to have those moments of real connection and conversation. Relationships, life is about other people. And our relationships enrich our own sense of happiness. So in a sense, the more selfless we are, the more selfish we also are, because we're making ourselves happier. Second thing, making our time rich and valuable. We can always make more money. You can drive Uber, do another job. We can't make more time. So we have to create ways of deepening the meaning of the time that we have. Things like anniversaries and birthdays, bar mitzvahs, weddings, communion, all of those are ways of marking sacred time. They add a depth to time that isn't automatic. So taking those moments, creating these rituals that deepen our appreciation of time will make us happier. Again, vacation is one of those, but so is going to a birthday party. So is going out to dinner with friends. We're taking time, which is neutral, and doing something meaningful with it. Again, carnivore gives us tremendous energy and greater ability to do that. That's one of the reasons I know so many of you have adopted this way of eating, so that we can make more out of life. Third thing, lifelong learning, continuing to learn. Again, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here because all of you are lifelong learners. Anyone who adopts the carnivore diet is learning about our body, about nutrition. But it's not just diet. It can be learning a new sport. It could be reading a different type of literature. If we've always read novels, maybe we read poems. It could be appreciating a new kind of music. We have to keep our brains from atrophying. I work with a lot of older adults, and I know that people who continue to learn and grow are ones who are happier. When we stop learning, our brain atrophies, we get miserable, we start forgetting things. Learning keeps our mind open, it keeps it flowing and growing. Fourth thing is prayer. Now, obviously, I'm a rabbi, so you probably expect that I'm going to say something religious like prayer, but I don't think you have to be religious to pray. Praying can be listening. If you don't want to call it God, call it the spirit of the universe. Listening for something deeper, not getting caught up in the urgent, in the everyday, but getting outside of ourselves, getting outside of our immediate experience and seeing the bigger picture. That's what faith does. And prayer can also just be talking to God, talking to somebody, feeling a connection in the universe. That deepens us. It brings us outside of ourselves. Sometimes we confuse prayer with just going through rituals and motions. That's not what it is. It's an authentic feeling of connection with something bigger than ourselves. And it doesn't really matter what words you use. Use words that come from your heart. There was a great Jewish mystic that said, words from the heart enter the heart. So use words from your heart to pray. And finally, forgive. Forgive. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. I've done enough funerals where children didn't attend the funeral of their father or mother or siblings. I've seen that so many times, and it breaks my heart because life is too precious and too short to have these broken relationships. Yes, sometimes things are so bad, if there's abuse and so forth, then I can understand. But so often people have even forgotten what caused the rupture in the first place. And forgiveness is not condoning. Forgiveness is moving on. Forgiveness is remembering that we're all human. And I know that when there is forgiveness and there is reconciliation, people are much happier at the end. When there's a loss, people come together. Even in the Hebrew Bible, when Abraham dies, his two children, Isaac and Ishmael, who have been separated, and Ishmael is the father of the Arab world, and Isaac obviously is the son of Abraham and one of the patriarchs of the Jewish tradition, they come together to bury their father. So when we forgive and we reconcile, we recognize that there's much more that brings human beings together than divides us. That helps us feel more at home in the world and we're happier. Again, I think the carnivore way of eating makes that more likely. It calms our mind. It gives us deeper perspective. It lets us get away from the anxiety and worry and agitation and focus on the relationships that make life meaningful. So again, what we put in our bodies is essential to our happiness, but also essential are the relationships we cultivate, the ways we honor and add meaning to time, and the practices we do that bring us out of ourselves and connect us to a world much bigger than ourselves.